Welcome to the channel, rather dubiously called Rufioh. I'm the best Yugituber in my street, a very average player who uses this platform to trick you into thinking I'm good at and capable of playing Yu-Gi-Oh on any kind of level at all. Before we get started, why don't you hit subscribe for me, even if it's not because you secretly enjoy bad content, but because you pity me. I need every bit of help I can get.
What's good, YouTube? It's Jamie the incredibly tired kid here today, dragged along.
Open a cold one.
Yeah, cracking open a cold one with the boys, getting dragged along to make yet more content for a channel I don't even own. So today,
terribly tired to be Jamie the Kid.
Today,
Balguska.
we're going to be talking about a Shaddoll deck profile that I net decked and then went. Format's changed since 3 weeks ago. I should probably make some adjustments. So this is the weird cannibalization that I somehow made the top 4 split with at locals. Anything you want to say on your own channel, Rufioh?
No, you're good. Trust you to take it away.
Somehow. Right, let's do this. So, this is based on the UDS deck profile. The top 8'd, I think, that played like dummy amounts of monsters and no hand traps. And I thought, hey, not thinking about my opponent's turn, that's not thinking about half the game. That's lit, that's the deck for me. Take half the cognitive load off. So it is Invoked dolls, so we are playing the 3 Alistairs. We'll get to those in a bit, the fact that they do the standard cross-sheep combo. You guys already know about that, it's disgusting.
Yep.
Going into the Shaddoll lineup, it's kind of a cannibalization of the fact that the guy played 3 of everything at the UDS. And I kind of did the same and then took a few things out. So we played 3 Wendy because she's absolutely bananas. Don't understand why they thought it was a smart idea to print that. 3 copies of Shaddoll Squamata, which actually came in handy quite frequently today as a man-eater bug, by setting it off of the Wendy, because there were a lot of people who wanted to OTK me. 3 Hedgehog, because we need so many abilities to recur Shaddolls. So this was one that I didn't feel I could cut. The UDS deck played 3 Shaddoll Beast. I've cut to 2 in favour of playing more spells and more draw cards in this list, and I missed one. I missed a 3rd once, but that was because Desires banished one. Otherwise, like, it wasn't that relevant outside of the Desires interaction. I'm playing the 1 Dragon. UDS deck played 2. A lot of people have gone down to 1 in favour of playing one of these in the main deck because the Mystic Mine out I've found a lot of the time. So this was enough. And then for the other one-off Shaddolls, I played 1 of the Shaddoll Chaos. This may as well be a vanilla. It's absolutely useless, but it's got this little bit in the top corner, which basically means it's really easy to do construct instead of having to search for this stupid thing. And then we played this, which is obscene. The fact that you can make silly little combos with this and the Resh Trap. The fact that it banishes Maliciouses.
Lunar Lights.
That was the one that was relevant. Watch the duel video. It's actually not a bad duel. Yeah. Especially because I win. But that's the Shaddoll lineup.
Sure.
And a Trick Clan. He's basically an honorary Shaddoll. That's all you needed. I never ran out. I think you do still need to play a lot of Shaddolls. So that you can go down to like the silly control decks that are going around. Then for spells, a few one-offs. Upstart Goblin, 39 cards. Foolish Burial, it's any Shaddoll you want it to be, with the exception of in situations where you have El Shaddoll Fusion.
Sure.
Which came up where I got Imperial ordered, and I had a Shaddoll and this, and if it had just been another Shaddoll, I could have used the El Shaddoll before the Imperial order resolved. But I digress. 1 Avarice, you go through your extra deck so damn fast, and even through your main deck so damn fast, even if you have a medium playable hand, this is still just as good as a Desires, I've found. Speaking of the Devil, we also play the 3 Desires, because you just want to draw through your deck.
How are you finding that? Like, does it often banish things that you, like, that cuck you, or...?
You, honestly, like, you always run the risk of banishing your invocations, especially because I own 2, like, but the deck is almost entirely comprised of 3 ofs. What the hell is that doing in there? It's almost exclusively comprised of 3 ofs, with the exception of this.
Right.
So this is probably the only card which is sad to banish, which we'll get to later on.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's really kind of irrelevant. You have to try very hard to really screw yourself with things.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Like you have to go, you have to go dummy bad.
Yeah.
So there's those. I play a lot of high numbers of spells because they're all quite integral. So 3 Magical Meltdown. I heard about the ruling that was at Utrecht. That was insane.
Negates everything.
Yeah, stop everything. This actually like single-handedly won me a Mermail match in top 4. It's ludicrous the amount of blocks that
it forces things as well. Like for example, when we were playing earlier, I had to get rid of it because I was like, I don't have anything now, but I may need to respond down the line.
And like I had 1 spell spell in hand. This was already on field. My opponent sets up a glacier, whatever it's called, the new Link monster.
Oh, okay,
Glacier,
sure.
I think.
Abyss Glacier, I think it is.
Yeah, with the Mizuchi behind it.
Yeah.
Negates spells. I just bang down a Shaddoll Fusion and this stops that from negating it. So
Yeah.
that attempts because it's forced to.
Yeah.
And then this says, oh, by the way, that can't negate.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nuts. 2 invocations because I only own 2. Catch you later, broads.
Take care.
See you in a bit. Sorry for the intermission, guys. I played 3 super polymerizations because I really am afraid of Spiral, and in fact I lost a Spiral and I played this. But we also play Invoked Elysium and we play Shaddolls. So a lot of good cards in the game of Dark Monsters. The fact that you can take your opponent's boss monster away and make Winder is pretty dope.
Yep.
And if it's not a good Dark Monster, it's probably a good Light Monster.
Yeah, that's true.
3 Shaddoll Fusion, because this card is nuts. It's the whole reason I always wanted to play Shaddolls in the first place. It's the whole reason I've come back. And then the other reason is 3 El Shaddoll Fusion. Make something
nice.
big for free, and then OTK for nigh on free.
Yeah.
So like these spells are absolutely obscene. That brings us up to 11 fusion spells, and I think that's enough.
You sometimes get to fusion.
Yeah, like occasionally. Like genuinely, I actually drew these like less than I would have wanted to.
Yeah, I guess that's the whole point of the deck.
The
right?
deck is frustratingly like Monarchs and Dark Worlds because you have to draw both parts of the engine. There are a few cards like Alistair that get you to that engine, but by and large, it's just like Monarchs and Dark Worlds. If you draw too much of the monster part or too much of the spell part, you can't play the game.
Yeah.
So the deck is very similar to that. But the monsters in this actually have a little engine to help you get there.
Sure.
We then play 1 Dynamiscus because it's probably the best card to draw going first that also happens to be a Mystic Mine out. Like, this card is never bad unless you're really, really far behind, which should be surprising. It triggers Shaddolls, which was really, really good, and it's just really important for the Mystic Mine situation, which is quite prevalent at this locals because a lot of people play Mine decks. And then 1 Shaddol Incarnation. Read this card, and if you don't understand why it's broken, you shouldn't really be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! It's absolutely unfair. I think it's outrageous. And then for the extra deck, sorry for the jump cut. We played 1 Salamangre, Almirage, 1 Secure Gardener, which actually came up so often because I drew like, I'd go first, I'd draw like Shaddoll Fusion, Elf Shaddoll Fusion, garbage, Alistair.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, well, I guess I'm making Mecha Worm passing.
Yeah.
1 Gravity Controller. I'm starting to really learn the utility of this card, and it's very quickly becoming one of my favourite Link monsters in the deck, with the exception of Gross Sheep.
Card's broke.
Gross Sheep is busted. The reason why I say it's busted is because if I wasn't using it to blow out the game, my opponents were using it to blow out the game. This is outrageous. I'm throwing the next card, the most important extract card, under the couch. 1 moment, please.
Out of curiosity, whilst on that point in the cross sheet, would you ever consider upping that, or do you think 1 is sufficient?
1 is sufficient.
Sure.
You only ever really have the resources to make the 1. After that, the game is in such an accelerated situation in which you've either been blown out or you're blowing your opponent out. And with respect, the utility of having an extra level 4 monster for Shaddoll, for fusioning just isn't that relevant.
Yeah, sure.
You're that deep down the rabbit hole that you don't.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, for
Like
sure. Okay.
that 4 is probably just going to sit there. You've already fusioned. And then we've switched out the Bottle Sword in this situation for a Unicorn.
For an Einhorn.
Yeah, I watched a profile that talked a lot about how this was important in the mirror match, and I was inclined to agree. And also, you're playing a deck with such good OTK potential, especially with the deck that plays Purgatrio and is almost always going to have a fire in the graveyard. This actually comes up more often. I actually only ever summoned it once, but it was for game in time, and it pushed a big monster out. It pushed a Malicious Bane out of the way. I out-coloned and then made this.
Okay.
So it was really, really important. So that's the Link monsters. I didn't hate that. I think it was reasonable. I always want a Phoenix, but the Phoenix is more of a theory thing. It never actually comes up.
Yeah.
Fusion monsters. 2 El Shaddoll Construct. 2 is enough in this list. You always want 3 of every Shaddoll, but let's be reasonable with each other.
You can't do it, can you?
Yeah, something that I really want to go to 3 on, and maybe it's just because I am super wasteful, is I want to take my Winder up to 3.
Yeah.
I go through them so quickly, it's absolutely unreal. But that's mainly because I'll find myself El Shaddoll fusioning through them and super polying through them just to keep it stable on the field.
Yeah.
People try to remove it. So I find that the 3rd comes up. It's not too important, especially because Rest Shaddoll fusion means that recurring these 2 are ridiculously easy.
Sure.
You just need to find the time in your advantage engine to set this up, because sometimes, while the deck is very free in terms of the cards it gives you, it's not always going to be super free. Like,
Yeah.
You don't always just have a send to set this up. Sometimes you genuinely need to send the Wendy or a Beast.
Yeah.
So the -1 from this has to be carefully planned, but once it is set up, I cannot stress enough how good that is. And then we play the 1 app Cologne. I kind of need to learn how to play this card because I've been playing Shaddolls for 4 years without really having this as an option, so it doesn't really go through a lot of my brainwaves when I'm primarily playing the game. This is a really, really good card that I don't respect nearly enough. A lot of people thought this was bad. I really appreciate
this card's good.
The deck didn't have a lot of ways of actually addressing cards. Like, it can put stuff in the way and it can stop you from doing it. But addressing something that's already up, the deck actually had a lot of trouble doing.
Yeah.
Especially cards that couldn't be destroyed by construct. So this actually fills a hole that no one was that aware exists. And therefore, I don't think about it in plays, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I guess if you're used to having to try and play without that option available to you, which is what you've been used to, then it takes a bit of time.
And then what else we have is we play a few Invoked. So Purgatrio for OTK potential. Mechaba because hey, apparently I just need to summon this at end. Caliga, which I actually this is really embarrassing. I never had the cards in hand today to do the cross sheep combo when I went first. This is for the cross sheep combo, and I still think it's really, really strong in that combo. I think it's a good card anyway, but I never. I don't know. I tell a lie. I made this once on an opening play. And I can't remember why I didn't make this. I feel like the matchup was relevant. I think it might have been because it was Ignista, like the Ignista deck, the AI deck. And I thought this was much more relevant because there's so much going on with monster effects. So I was like, let's just make this and see how it goes. Because I had no idea what the deck did. It just looked busy. 1 Elysium. So this is much worse than I thought. Because this says 1 Beshwaran monster, and this is 1 Beshwara monster. Very important.
Yes.
So this can only use these to make it. And for the first couple of games, I accidentally used this. It's not as broken as I thought.
No.
It's still really good in super polymerization, but there is reason to take this out. When you do make it, however, it is bananas.
Like banishing everything.
However, making it is a lot harder than I thought.
Same reason Zeraboros.
Sorry, round 1 and round 2, my bad. And then I played the 1 World Chalice Guard Dragon Armaduke because Super Poly is blowout. Almost all of your other cards in the deck can go 1 for 1 for Super Poly, with the exceptions of a few targets. This allows me, if my opponent is super going off with link monsters, to come back in. Especially with the Spiral matchup, but I lost the Spiral combo, and I didn't have the Super Poly, so... And with all the draw power, I was really disappointed. But that was that. And then for the side deck, this is all over the place in terms of the organisation, so I'm sorry. There's 2 more Dynamiscus for when I'm going hard first. This one was in the deck. 2 evenly matched because I can't find my third. Genuinely.
That's the justification.
3 Red Reboot because I hate Adam Black personally. His alter guys can.
It's at 1.
Huh? Oh, is it? Really?
It really is.
Shit.
We don't play 3 Red Reboot.
We don't play 3 Red Reboot. Genuinely didn't realise. That's what you get for not playing, guys. So we play 2 blanks. I'm just like, you can leave this in. Like,
you can play a third evenly because normal people have 3.
Like, it never came up, so this could. I'm very embarrassed. This could be another evenly, but like to talk out of it, this could be another evenly. And then the other one could be another Cosmic Cyclone.
Yep.
It's because I haven't changed the sideboard since the list.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's basically just sat. So I just went, Red Reboots. So that should be that. And then that should be that.
There we go, fix it.
Idiot. Fuck all Damn! Appaloosa. So I didn't want to be without her. I think she's really strong in rogue situations in the local matchup. So I really wanted to have it somewhere in my list. I couldn't stomach putting it in the extra deck because there's just no room at all. Unacceptable. However, the fact that you can side this in, especially in situations wherein Super Volley is coming out, that was very good. And otherwise, it replaced Elysium as well. Then otherwise, hand traps, 2 DD Crow, and 3 Nibiru. Nibiru is important because it's a light monster, so it adds a little bit more value than the normal egg. So like the Nugget was better than normal, and I feel like DD Crow gave me the most versatility against combo decks because Ash Blossom I have to do quite early. Whereas DD Crow I think I can do quite late. And as I was saying before, like I'm not paying attention to the game that much, and I normally come here like after work, or I've just come off an 8-day stint now. I'm super tired. I don't actually want to be too taxed. So, like, memes aside, I'm actually exhausted. I don't actually want to be too taxed. So, DD Krog actually comes up for me in the way I think, in situations where I can read what's on the table, rather than having to estimate what's in my opponent's hand and run probabilities. So I felt like this was a much better card for how I play. Different people will definitely play different things, like Ash or Ghost Spell,
strong, man.
things like that. But I feel if you think that way around, if you want the information, this allows you to be late. Especially because a lot of the Spiral decks are stopping making Appaloosa quite so early as well, from what I've seen. This is a lot more useful.
Yep.
That does bring me smoothly to the end of the profile, wherever we were doing the jump cut, so you might have heard me say that twice. Sorry again about the Red Reboot, guys. I'm really out of date. But, yeah, like, Shaddol is... It's really good to see the deck come back. I originally said I didn't think the cards did enough, but, like, now actually having the cards to interact with, I feel like the advantage engine is so much stronger. And especially I feel like we're in a niche in the meta where originally when the structure deck was announced, Winter wasn't really going to do enough.
Yeah.
Now we're in a situation in which so many decks got absolutely clobbered.
Yeah.
Especially Thunder Dragon, which really made the deck hard to choose. It made it really, really good in the situation we're currently in. So I really like it. I'm not going to be going to any major events to play it, but at least I can local stomp. And hey, we'll see what the absolute clown fiesta of the format's going to like come April. So I'm almost certain this deck is going to get hit. It absolutely has to. It's just really to what degree.
The question is what do we think will get hit? Do we think it? I'm not sure it will be the Shaddolls though. I think it could potentially be. It's almost certainly going to be the Invoke part, right?
The Invoke part has to be, because it's such a compartmentalized engine, it's so small.
You can literally splash it so easy. As we've seen in Duel Links, it goes in like every deck.
I mean, you're the Duel Links expert. I'm busy playing Legends of Runeterra, sorry Konami. Looking through it, like, a lot of people are talking about Winder having to go. Like, you don't have to turn the camera down. Construct, I think, is weirdly can stay.
Yep. I think Construct's fine.
Yeah, because, like, Winder is much more abusable.
I think for the modern game, Winder does way more, you know?
Yeah, like, a lot of people are talking about Rest Shaddol going...
Really?
Shaddol Fusion going to a hit. Super Polymerization has to disappear.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, Instant Fusion has to go.
That probably will happen.
Yeah, and the Invoke stuff, you're quite right. It's a difficult call, because, like... With Shaddol, it's kind of weird. I feel like if you hit any part of the deck, i.e. spells or fusion monsters, the deck kind of falls apart.
Yeah.
Its benefit is its utility, so...
Have to do a bit of a balancing act.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. So, if Shaddol is to die for the April format, something's going to get clobbered. Like, there won't be something going to 1, something will get banned.
Yeah,
like, unless Shaddol Fusion maybe goes to 1 and L goes to 1, that would be bad. Mm-hmm. But, we also have Cobra.
Yes.
So, like, it has to be a ban if it's the spells.
Yeah.
Like, so the problem is, April comes along, the deck gets insane, so it has to get absolutely clobbered, or it will be one of the best decks.
Yeah, for sure.
If not the best.
Yeah, potentially.
So, if there is no change, you'll see me flying to American YCSs.
Sure.
If there is a change, I will retire.
End of it all.
Yeah, it's...
Okay, well, thank you very much for taking the time, despite the fact that you're absolutely knackered.
Second monster of the day.
Second monster of the day.
On the truck stop all the way home.
Yeah, that's it. Well, thank you very much again for taking the time to do the profile. Really appreciate
Absolute pleasure.
Any shout-outs before we go?
As per usual, big shout-outs to Manascrew, where I try to actually remember to do so. Big shout-outs to my man Liam for driving me down here. Big call-outs to Jam Cards UK, coming in with the merch.
See the links in the description.
Yeah, please do. Buy all your cards from there. I don't anymore because I'm broke. But that's why I'm playing a deck that's super, super old. But
it works.
I think that brings us on. Of course, big shout outs to Rufioh on. Have you hit the big 100 yet?
100?
1,000?
I'm a few over 100 now.
1,000?
I'm almost at 1,000. So if you haven't already, you definitely need to subscribe and get me over that line.
You're going to get more of this absolute chaos. Check out the Fluffle Deck Profile because there's a lot of beef in that. And there's also a duel video coming up very soon, if not preceding this, if you want to see how the deck plays.
Cool. Thank you very much again.
See you around.
Thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the garbage content I put together for you enough to hit subscribe and maybe even drop a thumbs up and a comment. Before you go, be sure to check out the links in the description to help support the people who are making this channel a possibility. Thanks again for checking in, and I'll see you in the next one.